Hello and good morning out there. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Hoops Talk. I'm your host, Mike DuPont. Thanks for joining in either on Instagram at Mike Dup, or on YouTube at Mike is Kinda Funny, or on Facebook at Mike DuPont II, however you may be tuning in. Thanks for joining us. Today is Saturday, December 21st. Last night, jumping right into it, if you weren't able to see a game, the Dallas Mavericks topped the Philadelphia 76ers. The Dallas Mavericks beat the snot out of the Philadelphia 76ers 117-98. The Dallas Mavericks beat the hell out of the Philadelphia 76ers last night. They beat them in Philadelphia. They beat them as if the Philadelphia 76ers said something about their mother. They beat them as if they brought home a report card with the grades that weren't supposed to be on there. They beat them as if they brought home a report card with N's and U's for the behavior. They beat them as if they told them they could borrow $5, but they gotta have 10 on Friday, and they showed up with their hands in the pockets. The Philadelphia 76ers got curb stomped last night. They really don't have an answer for it. If you're a Mavericks fan, you'd love to see the Mavericks get a huge road win without another game without Luka Doncic. It's only got to make you feel more and more optimistic about what the Mavericks can accomplish. And moving forward, you're just accumulating. Right now, they're on their East Coast, on their Eastern Conference trip right now, and you're just seeing them dismantle more and more teams at the top of that Eastern Conference. They've already got a win over the Bucks in Milwaukee without Luka. Now they've got another win in Philadelphia without Luka, and it just makes it even more and more difficult for you to say that this is not a top 5 team in the Western Conference. And this team, for those who might not have expected this out of the Mavericks, like myself, don't feel that you're alone. It makes it even more challenging to present an argument why this team couldn't make it out of the first round. Couldn't be a I don't know how you could argue that the Mavericks are not a tough first round out if you can even get them out in the first round. Right now, the Mavericks look like they might be in the second round, and you might have to beat them. You know, you might have to go 7 games if you want to get them out in the playoffs this year. It's looking really tough. I mean, you see almost a 20-point win on the road without your best player, and when you're obviously injuries can play a key in defining a season. But when you're looking at everything on the table, this is a really huge turnaround from last year to this year, and it's got to be something that you, as a fan of the team, if you're a fan of the team, it's got to be something that you're very enthusiastic, very excited to see. Looking ahead, the Clippers play the Spurs tonight in San Antonio. Kawhi returns again for another matchup with the Spurs. It's a very interesting bet. I believe the Clippers are favored by 5.5. The Clippers have not lost consecutive games. They're coming off of a loss. I believe it was against the Rockets a few nights ago. We talked about that. And they have not lost consecutive games dating all the way back to mid-November. I believe it was the 12th and the 13th. And they played a set of back-to-backs, the games that they lost consecutively. So if you're thinking about placing a bet tonight, that might be something that's interesting. Like I said, the Clippers have not lost consecutive games dating back to November. And the consecutive games that they did lose were back-to-backs. The Clippers are coming off of a day off. They did not play yesterday, and they're playing in San Antonio tonight. Again, the line is 5.5 for those who might be interested in that aspect of the game, looking to make a little bit of money. Can't blame you there. That might be an interesting bet. That might be an interesting follow. Just so you're not mad at me for the information. I'm just here to give you the information. We all make our own choices. Just so you're not mad at me, I want you to know the Clippers did lose to the Spurs. The last time both of these teams played was at the end of November. They lost in San Antonio. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George did play in that matchup, and the Spurs did come out with the win. So it's something to keep in mind before you decide to make any type of defining plans for the game moving forward. Again, it's going to be an interesting matchup tonight. Hopefully, we do get to see everybody in action. Hopefully, there's no DMPs, no load management type of situations. It would be great to see some interesting basketball. I believe that game's on NBA TV with the 7 o'clock tip. In my eyes, it's going to be a great opportunity for the Clippers to bounce back off of a home loss to Houston, and they have set they've got a team that they're sharing a building with who doesn't want to lose back-to-back games. I doubt they want to lose back-to-back games as well. So who do you like tonight? Do you think the Clippers got it? Do you think the Spurs got it? I would love to hear from you. Drop a note in the comments, whether on YouTube, whether on Facebook, whether on Instagram, however you may be following along. Leave a note in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the Mavs win last night. Let me know what you think about the Sixers loss. I know that a lot of us are ready to turn the page on the Sixers this year and write them off. It's just December. I would remind you, it's an 82-game season. Before you do something like that, a lot of things can happen. Other players can get hurt from other teams. Philadelphia could go out and make an acquisition. Maybe they decide, as they're currently built, maybe they thinking that the same way that you're thinking, the same way that we're all thinking. Maybe they're thinking they don't have enough pieces, and maybe they go out and make an acquisition. Essentially, what I'm saying is there's a lot of basketball left to be played. There's a lot of games left on the schedule. Let's not close the book on anybody just yet, unless they're all the way down there at the bottom of the standings. I mean, I don't want to hear from you about how the Pelicans could still make a playoff run. Other than that, I don't think it's fair to close the book on the top 5 Eastern Conference team, but it is fair to give the Mavericks their recognition for going on the road and getting that win. Again, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.